The stream is connected. And in 3, 2, 15. There we go. Alrighty, welcome everybody to our third live stream. I hope you've watched the last two, because the last two were pretty fun. We had some cool music that resulted from it. Not highly refined, but we got some interesting ideas down. So yesterday, I tried to focus on the guitar. Today, I thought we'd write a piece of music that really, highlights the piano. And in particular, I'm interested in reversing pianos and getting some really lush, jazzy sounding harmonies and doing some cool atmospheric just some cool sounds and some orchestra and some melody. I don't know. All I know is that I want to include reverse piano. All right, so the basic sound palette is Albion 1 with the addition of this piano from 8DO. I'll switch over so you can see my screen. All right, so here we are. So the only difference between Albion and my template is with the addition of this piano here. I like this piano because you can do the soft setting, and my MIDI keyboard isn't very good. Its dynamic control isn't. So it's nice to just stick to soft. So that's a beautiful sounding instrument. Alright, as per usual, I am scared by the blank screen we have in front of us, but in an hour or so's time, it will not be blank, and in the end, that's what matters. Everybody hates the blank screen. I heard a story about Jerry Goldsmith. Now I'm going to paraphrase, so excuse me, but he said, every time we sit down to write, we all want to throw our hands in the air and tell everybody, hey, I don't know how to do this anymore. And I think that's my feeling too. So every time I'm faced with a blank screen, I just want to scream, hey, I don't know how to do this anymore. Maybe I should not be doing this. But somehow or another, by the end of this process of exploration, we're going to end up with something. All right, so let's start off with some harmony. So what I want the bed of this piece of music to be is really beautiful, jazzy sounding chords, but they're reversed in the piano. And then we'll see how we can develop that from there. But for now, let's just get started. What did I do? I can't hear the piano. I've pressed the wrong button, haven't I? Excuse me, folks. I have pressed the wrong button. And it will just, there we go. Okay, cool. I got the sound up and running. So, for this sound, previously I would just pick a random note, pick a key, but today we're going to stick with D flat major. I think it sounds nice. Some of you may recognize this piece. It's Chopin's Prelude in D flat called Raindrops. And I really love this key ever since that piece. It's really lush sounding. With addition to that, you get to play all the black keys and do cool stuff. Alright, so I'm going to tinker away. The reason why I'm tinkering away is that it's a form of procrastination, so I don't have to think of any musical ideas. So let's start. I want a chord progression. It could be really simple. Maybe 2 chords or 3 chords or 4 chords or 8 chords. Let's start with 4 chords because it's the easiest place to go. Now, I'm a big fan of the 3 chord. Alright, I've got da 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 I like the first part. We da 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 da. Yeah. Da da Alright, and now we're gonna do a little bit of a reverse-aroo. It might be Alright, cool. So one thing that should be noted is that I'm going to be reversing this. So this is what it should sound like once it's reversed and ready to go. So I'll just play one chord at a time, and then I'll chop it up and arrange it later, because I want that sustain of so I can reverse it. Anyway, so I'm just going to do one chord per bar. 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, wait, let's... no. Alright, let's do this again. Just real quick. Each of the chords. 3, 4. We're just going to do each of them for 2 beats just so I can arrange them later. I don't need that chord, do I? And then from... I've got that, and then I need the 2, 3, 4. Alright, and the last chord I need is the... we need that sus chord. Oh, not that's not the last chord though. 2, 3, 4. And last chord, D flat major. I love this chord. Alright, so we've got all our chords. Now I'm going to name them and reverse them one at a time. Here we go. I'm going to chop-a-roo, and then from there we can, split. Split. Alright. Now this is, I believe, the 3 chord. I should have named it right there. We'll call this, where's the name? Rename region. Now this was the 3 chord, that's F minor 7. This one is, I believe, the 4 chord. Yeah, that's the 4 chord. And that's G flat Mage 7. I should have added verb to that, but it's fine. We've got a decent sustain to it. Here we go. Next chord. That's the 2. That's D minor 7. Next chord is a... Can we guess? That's the 5 sus. Oh, I forgot to rename it. Now, the 5 sus is A flat sus. And the last chord is the D flat major 7. D flat major 7. Alright, so we're going to create that same rhythm we found. We're going to copy all the regions into one place. Alright, here we go. And we're going to add a bit of verb to it. Now remember the rhythm was bum, bum. So that's 3, 4, dum, dum. Oh, and so let's reverse all of them. So we can just go down to functions, reverse here, and we'll need to do it one at a time. There's a shortcut which is is that shift? A shift option R? No. What was that? Wait, what does that say? That one's option, and then we have, is that shift? And that's R. That's clearly not it. Is it this one? Ah, yes. Alright, reversed, easy. Now we want bum, bum. Chopperoo. Dum, dum. We're gonna copy that over. And bum, bum. So it's here. That's where the second chord starts. And the second chord is that G flat major 7. Dun, dun, dun. Dum, dum. Alright, let's have a quick listen to what that sounds like. And this will be here. Dun, dun. Alright, I've decided I want to make that last a bit longer. It's lucky I recorded it for as long as I did. Dun, dun. 1, 2, 3, 4. Da, dum. Alright, and now that D flat major 7. We'll copperoo. Here we go. And that's over there like so. Now we have our 2 bars. And then we do that one more time. Da dee, da dee, dee da, da dee, da da. All right, so I'm thinking that A flat last. So one thing to note here is that we started off with an idea. But by the end, where we've seen that idea through, it's not necessarily the same idea that we have at the end. But what's important is we needed that idea, the initial idea, as a catalyst to lead us forward into something new. And a lot of the times we fight it. So if you've grown up, admiring the classical legends, Beethoven and Bach and Rachmaninoff, Mahler, and you end up getting this false impression, or you end up getting this impression, it might not be false in some circumstances, that these composers, they come up with these completely fleshed out pieces of music, and all they're doing is they're recording it on a piece of paper. And for the longest time, like, I that's what I thought I needed to do. And every time I had these accidental discoveries or my ideas weren't what I actually had in mind at the beginning, I always felt like I was faking it. Like it wasn't. It was just dumb luck that I ended up here. But I think it's just the process, and I think a lot of these composers probably went through something similar. I mean, we know from Beethoven that his Ninth Symphony, bum bum ba da da dee dee da dee da da dee dee da dee. He went through so many iterations of that melody before he got there, and so I think we need to give ourselves a break and let ourselves be creative and let ourselves discover new things and not have to have everything thought of and then everything's done in our mind. All right, so I've basically got the idea here. Now I'm just gonna do a few crossfades, just so. Actually, I probably should have done that before, just so it sounds a bit less poppy. Not poppy, I mean like there are no clicks and pops and whatnot. I'm copying. All right, and I'm gonna make sure that this is basically what happens the entire time. It's the bed. It's just gonna be what loops, and then we build around it. And this is gonna go for frickin' ages. Because we don't need to change up the harmony all the time. Once we've got a nice chord progression going, I think before Hans Zimmer's time, we were all tempted to, keep stacking chord progressions, keep leading, and have that journey-esque, I suppose, philosophy about chord progressions, like, a classical symphony where the chords are constantly moving and you're developing something. You're in a tonality and then you go to a different tonality and then you go to a different tonality and then you go back to your original tonality and so on. But I think the four chord song, everybody knows that one. What was it? One, dun, 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 dun. And there's like a billion songs. I didn't think you'd understand me. How could you ever even try? And there are like so many songs, and I don't even know. Actually, that's probably the one song that doesn't have that chord progression, but it's such a beautiful chord progression that it just works, and it just repeats. I think we as composers nowadays have the freedom and have this new creative capacity where it's not just about the harmonic and melodic content anymore as it was maybe 200 years ago, but now there's a sound component to it, there's a texture component to it. So I guess you could call it an extension of orchestration, from Ravel to now, where Ravel was constantly finding new textures and sounds with his orchestra. Now we have something similar, but we're not limited to an orchestra anymore. We're limited only by our imagination. We can have anything in here. And sometimes that's daunting, but other times it leads to something. Like you could, with a live work, Ravel could never have made this sound. It just wasn't possible for him, and it's possible for us. And so we need to stop limiting ourselves and allow our creativity to just flow from one extreme to the other, and just discover new things. I didn't think we need to be that romanticized notion of a composer. I mean, this in its own way is also a romanticized notion, I believe. This is a beautiful way of going about making music, and sometimes I don't appreciate it as much, and I think that could do with a bit of changing. All right, anywho, that's enough ramble about that. All right. I'm just making sure we can crossfade very nicely. There's a little bit of overlap because I heard some pops before. I suppose I can just pause on those pops, eh? All right, here we go. Oh, like this one. That's probably the pop I heard. Oh. Down. All right. So, do I want that on the one, or do I want it? Do I want that as an upbeat? I feel as though I want that as an upbeat. Alright, here we go. Upbeat. How could you ever even try? That's a great song if you haven't heard it by Ariana Grande. I love it. As I said, so we're going to keep this an upbeat. And we'll expand that out. Maybe to about here. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, it's not quite right, but we're just gonna roll with it. We'll fix it up later. There's no use obsessing over this stuff. All right, so we have our main chord progression happening. Let's have a listen. Alright, I've decided to change it up a little bit. So as I said, let the creativity run wild. Don't be forcing yourself to stick with your initial vision. See where it leads you. It's just what gets the ball rolling. It doesn't matter where you end up at the end, as long as you're always listening and making sure that you're heading in a direction that's satisfying to you personally. Because you discover things that you couldn't just figure out, you couldn't imagine before. Alright, that's not quite right. Here we go. I would hope this is done. Am I done? Oh, sorry, I keep clicking the wrong button. Now we're tasked with figuring out what to do from here. Alright, I might double up on the melody. Just so we've got something to latch on to. Do I want that double? Alright, I think I do want that in octaves. 1, 2, 3, 4. Those pops are annoying me. We'll get to it. Alright. That's quite naturally I wanted to do that, so we're going to stick with it. And that works out to be 8 bars. Intuition. It's a great thing. Alright, I'm going to fix these pops because they're frustrating me. That's not quite right. Why am I getting those stupid pops? That's as good as we're probably going to get it. No, it's very lazy, isn't it? Alright, I'm supposed to be here. Or do I want that to be one long crescendo instead? I might want that to just be a really long crescendo. So here, and then we can, alright, so we can do that. Alright, so we've got a bed of sound along with this melody, and now we just need to figure out where to go from here. It's all well and good having an idea, but now we need to start building it. Cool. I'm hearing some strings going ba-dum, ba-dee. So we're passing off this. We've got a motivic idea now. Ba-dum, ba-dee. And we're just gonna, see where it leads. Ba-dum. Da. One, two, three, four. Am I happy with that? Not entirely. I'm gonna listen to it just to figure out where I'm going with this. Ding dong. Want that to be a pickup. There we go. Da-dee. Let's keep that piano melody going. Da-dee. What is the piano melody? Da-dee. Da-dee. Alright, the flutes will take it over. 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright. Dim dim. We need something pulsing. I hear something pulsing. Boom. Pizzicato strings. Of course, it's gonna be you. Now, I'd like to find that one note that can serve as kind of a pedal between all the chords. Yeah. Yeah. Alright, it's gonna be C. 1, 2, 3, 4. How are we feeling about that? I don't know. This is a very I don't know kind of piece. I'm not confident about its direction just yet. Alright, let's double that C up. We'll get something out of this. I like that idea with the 2 and 4 being some kind of counter melody. Not that one that I've recorded in the strings, but something else. We need to add something. I don't particularly like where that's at, but I like the idea. Alright, we got something. What I think we should do is we should double that. We should do that again as well. That piano melody thing. So we got this. Oh, I did something wrong. Alright, that's messed up somewhere. We're gonna copy that over. I like the idea of this like pulse building. How many of you have seen Oppenheimer? I bet everybody. And everybody loves the score. If you're here, you probably love the score to Oppenheimer. But in Can You See the Music, there's a lot of there's a lot of tempo changes that happen, but the way I was thinking about it was more so like metric modulations, and that might be cool to do here, where the pulse kind of gets faster and faster, even though the main piano element might remain the same, or maybe it doesn't say the same, right? So here we've got these interesting notes happening, right? And now we can figure out how we can modulate this particular work. So what I'm thinking about doing is I want it to feel like it's modulated tempo-wise, but in a way that fundamentally, or the underlying structure, it makes sense to have modulated in that kind of way. So let's see how we go about doing this. So we've got these half notes, half notes going, minims. Right? What I might do is now we make it a triplet tempo, but we treat the pulse as being changed, where the triplets now become beat 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and so on. I will have to explain, because I understand that probably makes no sense. So in the span of these two notes, we're going to add quarter note triplets. So there's, I'll just do it, and you'll hopefully get it, and hopefully it doesn't sound absolutely horrible. Here we go. Is that it? Was that where it was? Dun 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 and dun 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 and I dun da 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 da. All right, I'm gonna try my best. Alright, we're gonna go with that. And the playing was way off. I really need to go back to the basics, don't I? I'm gonna copy this up here. And we're just going to repeat that. And we'll just metrically modulate somehow. All right. And we're going to repeat that. So we have, here we go. We can think about this as 1 bar, 2 bars, 3 bars, 4 bars. All right. Now, it makes no sense right now. I know. I get it. I get it. But we'll slowly start making sense with it by putting some downbeats in places so it just makes a little more sense, okay? Because when you hear it with the metronome, it's probably not going to make sense because that's doing a different pulse. Anyway, actually, it might make sense to just have modulated the tempo. Dun, dun. Oh my gosh, how am I going to do this? How am I going to do this? See, this is something that I wouldn't do live, or I shouldn't be doing live, because I actually need to have a think about how I'm going to do this. And all right, let's go. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. I'm going to have to bring you up here just so I can... Dum, dum, dum. I'm going to do one bit at a time and just try make sense of it. Bum, bum. All right, here it is. So if I treat that as my beat 2, and somewhere here is half of that, and somewhere here is dun, 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 dun. So it's somewhere here should be the second chord. All right. I'm sorry, this is going to be rather painful, but as I say, I do this live for me, and hopefully you get something out of it too. But it's really so I'm more in the moment with my own composing. Ba, be, 1, 2. I'm gonna take that off. All right, maybe that. 1, 2. Da, 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 right. Oh God, how am I gonna do this? Da, dee, da, da. All right, I'm gonna leave it to about there. Now I'm thinking I should have made this longer. Oh God, where was it? And then that was the second chord that goes here is that D flat minor 7, which is here. Dun, dun, dun. All right, what's it supposed to last till? So that's in between. It's somewhere here. So that's in between, I believe. And then in between that, that's probably where it needs to go. Here we go. Oh my God. Alright, so it goes until there. Alright, it'll start making sense hopefully by Tuesday. It's Friday now. So I'm hoping to treat that as my new 1. So what I can do is I can reinforce just a little bit so we make a little bit more sense of it. We can reinforce the 1, the new 1, with some kind of like low woodwind. I think that'll be a great idea. Because I need to make sense of it too, you know? Alright, that's kind of what we're going for. Whew, this is gonna be a headache. Now I wanna add something else there just so it's easier to keep track of it. The metric modulation somehow. I wanna do all the eighth notes as well. I believe that'll help. And we can do that spiccato maybe somewhere. One, two, three. Alright, we're gonna try our best with the metric modulation. Alright, here it comes. Oh, hi! It's nice to see you. Alright, that sounds a bit weird. But you know what the artists say this a lot, but trust the process. This is going to end up somewhere. It's going to sound like something, I just don't know what yet. So just give it time and let me handle this. I'll figure this out eventually. Alright, so we need to treat this as though these were, eighth notes, not eighth note triplets. So we want something like this. And maybe even make that a little bit more drastic. Where these are really just low down. We need that sense of one. And this will help create it. There we go. Alright, so now the one feels different. Alright, here we go. Dun, 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 dun. Dee-da. Alright, you are here. Alright, that'll do. Now, how long does that last? Because that's a 2-bar phrase, isn't it? So we can think about this as our new 2-bar phrase. So this is 1 bar. Da dee da dee. This is 1 bar. And this is 2 bars. And then we would change there. Alright, let's keep changing. We're gonna get to something, folks. It's gonna take some time, honestly. This time in particular, because it's such a wacky thing we're doing. Like metric modulation, that's not, at least for me, it's not an easy thing to plan out in advance. It'll be somewhere here. That's 1 bar. That's 1 bar. So it fits into there, doesn't it? So it'll be here. Something like that. Oh, no, that's not it. That's not it. It should be there. And this should be about here. Alright, apologies if someone's trying to use me as entertainment right now, because it's just going to be hard. It's just going to be hard being entertained by me right now, just because we're doing something a little bit out of the box here. Alright, I need to copy that string part. And I'm not a fan of it so high, so I'm going to put that down. And additionally, I believe that it would be helpful if it had more harmonic notes in there. So maybe just on the one of each bar, I just stress which chord it's supposed to be. So the first one, it's supposed to be an F minor 7. So we're just going to stress the fact that it is an F minor 7. So we've got the, okay, cool. So we have, da. All right, so here, where's the one? Da, the one, da, 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 da. So it's here. That's supposed to have the change, isn't it? And the chord is G flat major 7. And then here we want to do, we're gonna do bum 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 bum, which is a G flat going to an E flat minor. So we have, oh god, where is it? So it's here, isn't it? Oh my gosh, I'm losing my mind here. Give me a sec. Dum bum. Da 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 da. So those are 8th notes. Da, da. So it should be 16th note. So it's about here somewhere. What is that? Those two notes. It's E flat. Ah, I see. E flat and then D flat. E flat and D flat. Here we go. Alright, I'm gonna add in something just to keep the ball rolling. Bum bum. And then I'm gonna add in something again. Alright, here we go. Alright, I am completely not happy with that. Gone. Alright, I'm going to record the piano in. I might want to move down. Alright. Here we go. Da-dum. Oh, here we go. Good. I'm going to sync everything up to that. Alright, good. So about there. Whew. And I'm going to sync the piano and everything else to this because that sounds as much in time as I could possibly get it. Bum, bum. So as we can see, it's a little bit, should be about there. And that looks to be about right. Maybe I can extend that just a wee bit. Alright, in here, this is a little delayed again. Let's have a listen. Just to this. 3. Alright, so sounding good. So we've got that metric modulation happening. We just got to figure out how to still stick with it. I'm going to get rid of that because I don't particularly like that. Here we go. Alright, I'm going to make sure that that's synced up too. So as we can see, it's not currently synced up. So we want it about there. And this should be about here. So we're going by feel. I mean, there's an underlying pattern here, but most of it's being done just based on how it sounds to me. Alright, so I'm not quite sure what the hell's happened here. Dun, 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 dun. Alright, I'm gonna just do something else, eh? No, wait, hold on, I didn't want to delete that first one. We need some kind of order. So this is just gonna do the pulse. And that's just gonna be weak, very weak. This is gonna be a little weak. Because we need to have that sense of pulse somewhere. And that the sense of pulse is obviously gonna change. There we go. Alright, now here is where it's gonna get a bit complicated because the sense of pulse changes. So this is doing, you could think about it as, okay, so the pulse would be here, every other note, like so. Alright, it's just saying goodbye to my brother. So now we need that sense of pulse again. Actually, we're going to make these very quiet. We're going to make this a little bit quiet. And then we're just going to repeat this because I'm not a fan of too many notes. Excuse me. Alright, I'm completely lost. I've gone down a bad rabbit hole. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. If I just listen to this. Alright, let me play this out because I'm really confused. Okay. I'm just gonna come in when I think I'm ready. Let's try that again. 3, 4. Alright, this is helping. This is helping me get the structure. 3, 4. Alright, now I feel as though I have a bit of a handle on this now. I didn't before. If I move that to somewhere where there's a 1 on the beat. Yeah. Now I believe this, I'm not sure, it should be 8th notes somewhere. Good, here we go. It's making sense now. Alright, okay, it might be helpful just to have that repeating just along with everything else because it's just making me confused otherwise. Alright, so we can bring that here and then we can sync up the reverse piano to this piano and then we can also sync that up as well. Alright, let's try that. Alright, cool. So we got something happening, and we just need to sync up my reverse piano so it falls in line with that. And it's a bit difficult, as I said, but we're getting there. It's starting to make a little bit more sense now. It went from making no sense at all to making some kind of sense. In the end, we'll get there. Alright, so now we can see that that's come a bit too early. Alright, now da dee da 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 dee, and then that's supposed to be somewhat like this. And just make sure that's synced up. Ba bee ba. Alright, we need that 5 sus voicing somewhere. So the 5 sus voicing goes there, which is, where's my sus chord? A flat sus. Dun. So let me just sync those up, and then it resolves to that D flat. I'm bringing those chords in. Da dee. All right, about, where is it? Should be about there. Da dee da. And then my A flat's gonna sync with the beginning of that, which falls on the beat somehow. And we just make sure this is synced up, which it looks pretty good. And then the D flat is here. All right, let's have a listen. All right, I'm not gonna do that weird thing I did here. I'm gonna let that pizzicato stay. All right, here we go. All right, now it's starting to make a bit more sense, isn't it? So we've got, actually, I say that, but we haven't tried going from one section to the other section, and it might not work at all. But here we go. Let's... All right, let's have a listen from further back so we can make sense of this. Otherwise, it's just going to be a bunch of nonsense. Alright, I'm gonna count us in. 1, 2, 3, 4. Da, 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 3, 4. Da, 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 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Alright, we're doing pretty good so far. Now the sus. Now, I don't think that transition is gonna work just yet. We need something that still takes us over, okay? We still need to feel that pulse. And I feel like the one, we need to highlight the one a little bit more. And we can do that by just, at the start of the chord progression, we can just add a little bit of a whoosh, wow, just at the beginning. With maybe some longs. Just at the start of each chord progression, just so we got a feeling for that one. Wow. Alright, now we can do this. We can do this. 3, 4. Cool. And we're going to do that again here. Alright, now, am I recording? That's very quiet. Let me try that again. Now, the 1, 3, 4. Alright, and we're just going to add in a bass to that voicing. 1, 2. I mean, I could just copy that over, couldn't I? I'm going to add an F. Alright, we're adding that F. And we're crescendoing a little bit more. Let me listen. So it's going to go until there. So I can go right until the end over there. Let's see. Oh yeah, I like that bubbling. And then if we do that enough times, we'll find that, oh, let me see where it's supposed to go. It's supposed to go there. It's supposed to go there. And then I can bring that up. And that'll allow us, and then I need to figure out where it goes to. So I'm going to open this two up and just align the end. Okay, here. So it just does that one beat. And I'm going to make that go a little bit faster, okay? Maybe just a tad bit faster. Boom. Like so. All right, cool. And we're just going to do that every time we get back to the original chord. Now, let's have a listen and see where we end up. And I need some kind of like tuk, tuk, tuk. We need more tuk, 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 and tuk, 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 tuk. What are we going to use to do that? Woodwinds are pretty cool. Yeah. Let's just do the woodwind, eh? Do. Oh, that's the legato. Let's not do that one. It needs to be more percussion-y. I might get a percussion to double this woodwind. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Oh. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. I'm just gonna loop that. Now, as I remember, I said I wanted to make sure people knew where the 1 was. So we're just gonna just make sure that in the rhythm we're highlighting, and with the velocity we can accentuate the 1. Yeah, and then if we loop that, we should get something pretty cool. And it's gonna go for quite a bit. And then I'm thinking, because we want that metric modulation to happen, we might preempt the new meter just by 1 beat. Just something that lets us know that some change is about to happen. Alright. Now, okay. So we're fully being inspired by the metric modulation in Oppenheimer right now. So we have the score to that movie to thank. It's cool. I mean, it's funny because you learn about metric modulation in your music theory class, but you don't really think about it as being very practical to like a large audience. You're like, I can make music that appeals to music nerds, but I don't know how it'll appeal to the masses. But for some reason, some composers, some musicians, they do this complicated thing. Fundamentally, it's very complicated, but they make it so approachable. So, and that's, to me, quite incredible. Now, I said I wanted to modulate here. So we're just going to try our best to do that. So we're going to do quarter note triplets here, and we get something like this, which fundamentally is even slower. Here we go. And then, because we're trying to do the 8th notes here, we might 8th note triplets. Here we go. So we might do this, and then we have this, and then we have that, and then we have this. So we go 1, right, and then we can get the bum 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 bum. All right, please do excuse me. This is not an easy thing to do on the fly for me. So it's just going to take a bit of time. But once we get the fundamental structure down, it'll be easier to repeat the process. Because what we're going to do is we're just going to change the tempo on the repeat so it keeps building somewhat. All right, so we have that structure going. And we're going to make these two our weakest beats. And we're going to make this a little bit weaker than that. And so we can feel our 1. I'm going to hope that we feel 1 somehow. Because that's really important, isn't it? Oh, damn. Where it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be about there. That's the hard thing about this. It's like, it can't just sound random. It has to make musical sense. Otherwise, what's the bloody point in doing this? Musical sense. That's what we're going for. It's no use making something very complicated that no one gives a rat's ass about, you know? Alright, and here we can allow that pizzicato here to also contribute to our cool pulse. 3, 4, something like that. Is that it? I think that should be it. No. Fundamentally, let's see how that's happening. All right, so we're doing this. All right, we might do this. Let's have a listen. Yes, that's it. We got it. Oh, stopping by to say hi. Hello. Oh, thank you so much. What was that? Thank you for your kind words, Reith. And thank you, Kushil. It's nice to see people here. I hope you enjoy it. So the metric modulation is really making some sense now because we allowed that transition to happen. So here we preempted the change that was going to happen. And then, oh, thanks. And then also, oh, you're here. And then also, we've got the new thing happening there. But underneath, it kind of makes musical sense where the pulse is now I suppose, the quarter note triplets of the previous bar kind of thing. So let's have a quick listen to this to make sure it still makes musical sense to us. And I'll turn it up a bit just so we can hear it. Right, I like that crescendo of that chord in the beginning because that's going to add that oneness to it again. By that I mean the meter wise. All right, we got this transition going. All right, here it comes. Right, there we go, yeah. Alright, and then now we need to head back to where we started, eh? And then the new meter is supposed to start here, but this is a really weird place for it to start. It's supposed to be somewhere here. Let's see. So what I'm thinking about doing here is just allowing that modulation to happen again. No, I don't quite like that. Alright, let's have a listen. I'm going to listen to that section again just to figure out where we go from here. Oh, I figured out exactly what I want to do, and that's to repeat this, because I don't think it's enough to hear that once, because it's really cool. Alright, I need to figure out where it repeats. 4, 1. So that's where it repeats. So we're just going to cut everything off there, and then we're going to repeat, alright? Cool. We're making progress, boys and girls, and that's what counts in the end. It doesn't even matter. I tried to. All right, anyway. So here is the one, and I'm hoping that by the time this repeats, it falls somewhere near a beat so I can make sense with it and transition back to something else. Oh, thank you. All right, here we go. Yeah, so we're still good. So we're still gonna see where this ends up, because it might end up somewhere completely random. But I'm hoping that it builds up slowly to something interesting. So in Oppenheimer, he does this interesting thing where it like goes faster and then it goes slower, but not as slow as it originally was. And then it's like ramping up and then ramps down a little bit, ramping up and ramps down a little bit. And we're gonna attempt to do something similar, but obviously with our own piece of music. So hopefully people aren't like, oh my gosh, that you just ripped off Oppenheimer, which I think people will still say because he made that so iconic and it's everywhere now. So I don't know how you could possibly, I don't know how could you how could you fix that up? How could you not do something like that? Anyway, so that's where it's supposed to be. So let me copy. And then I hope by the end of it, it ends up somewhere on a beat so I can easily change the tempo. All right, so it turns out it isn't on a beat, but I can just add a little bit because here it's ended up at a place where it'll allow me to transition because I can transition here, which is great, which is great. No. I haven't figured out where I'm going to transition to tempo-wise, but, you know, if you'll allow me the time, we'll end up somewhere. Might not be cool, but it'll definitely be somewhere. Alrighty. And then obviously we're gonna do this cool swell that we usually end up doing again because it's pretty cool swell. And this time I might add the second chord as well because this will be one of the things that develops with it is this wah wee and the strings. We want to make this as interesting as possible. Buddy, again, what was the second chord? Buddy. That's a major 7. All right, here we go. And I'm just gonna listen to this chord here, just so we're cooking something up. That's cool. And then my teacher used to say, you know, if you have an idea like body, you got to develop it somehow. So body, 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 body. So we'll develop it somehow, something along those lines. But this could be a long live stream because this is turning into more of a composition than a cue. So let's have a listen from the beginning because we're still going to build it up, right? We're going to add more elements to it. But I just want to get the underlying structure done first so eventually we have something more interesting. So what I could do here is I could ignore, I could make this a little more sparse in the beginning, can't I? Let's go. Wait, what did I mute? Oh, I muted it at the wrong place. That's not what I wanted to do. All right, I want to mute here, just so it's less packed. 1, 2, how many is that? 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, cool. Let's try that. And I might... no, I want to keep that going without... That's hammering away. We'll let the woodwinds deal with the beat number 3. I don't like it on every beat anymore. Alright, let's try. I might not even do that either. Wait, we're learning stuff. Sparseness is nice in the beginning. That's a bit too loud. I'm not entirely convinced just yet. There's something missing. So, for one, I am not convinced that these chords last long enough. Like, I think this is fine. But this chord needs to last longer. Like, maybe until there. So I'm gonna move stuff around, folks. And so I forgive me, but this is a trial and error kind of process. So let me move stuff around. Buddy. I just need to listen to it and get an idea of what I want. But alright, so it's still gonna last at two bars. Let's change things around. Alright, thank you. I'm happy to have such a supportive viewer today. Thank you. Yeah, so I'm not entirely convinced that that works just quite yet. No. Damn, D flat major. Alright, so we're gonna move things about until we get something happening. Alright, about there. Now I believe that that'll sound a bit better, so let's hear that. Yeah, I think that'll be better. But I've run out of chord here. Alright, cool. And what I'm thinking is the next time around is when we can have those chords last for whatever that was. Ooh, I should have probably copied that over. Ooh, because I can use that later in the development, can't I? Ah, bollocks. Alright, let's undo all of that, undo all of that. That's a lot of work. Alright, here we go. Alright, so we're gonna copy. I'm gonna move this over for later because I think that'll be really valuable. Oh no, I didn't. I haven't fixed that yet. Oh no, I'm making a lot of boo-boos. No, that's no, I did it right. Okay, here we go. Alright, need to have a listen to this transition. Yeah, I'm definitely keen on it lasting a bit longer. So we're gonna start it there. G major 7 right there. Yeah, I'm happy with it lasting longer. I think that'll give it the space it needs. So here, and then plus it'll make it easier to fall on the beat later when I want to transition again to something new. So it's gonna go until somewhere. Bobby. Do I want it there or do I want it here? I might want it there. It's definitely not an easy nut to crack, is it? Yeah, that's much better. Alright. Oh, that's cool. So the backwards piano is kind of displaced from the playing piano, and you know what? I like it. That's cool. All right, let's have a listen. Listen to that transition. You know, I need the music louder. Just, I'm not getting the full spectrum here. We're gonna add some synths later to fill out the spectrum. Not entirely convinced yet. Yes, absolutely, yes. But I want that there instead. I want that there instead. I don't want this one. So it's gonna decrescendo for about there. Here we go. Yeah, I want that harmony to kind of linger just so we have some new texture coming up. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna turn the pianos down just so the strings have more room. And then I can turn the whole arrangement up from there. Let's have a listen. Where's my piano string? I want to make you louder. Here we go. So it should be up until there. Yes, that's it. And then repeats. On the beat, please. Here we go. Alright, and here I'm actually going to do the chord, the second chord, which is that here, I mean. Oh, there's nothing there. If minus, what? Oh, here, this is it. I'm confused. What have I done? What have I done? What have I done? What have I done? Da-dee. Alright, listen. 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. Da-da. 1, 2, 3, 4. Da-dee. Alright, I'm gonna do the chord here, which is that G flat major 7. Yeah, G flat major 7. Move everything up. G flat. I might do the sharp 4 because that'll add a little bit of meatiness to it, and it lets me avoid that parallel fifth. Not that it really matters, but I think it's just going to help me create something that's a little more interesting if I allow that voicing. There we go. Yes. Yes. And then that's going to decrescendo for a while because we need more textures, don't we? All right, and then we can do a crescendo here with the D flat major 7. We need something there, don't we? D flat, D flat, D flat, D flat major. Let's go. We'll do, shoot. Strings. There you are. Here's where I want to be. So we got D flat, then we're going to do the C, then we're going to do the third, and then we're going to do maybe the 9. Yeah, let's do that. We're going to do, I think it might be cool just to space it out like so. And then it'll go. And then this is going to be a massive crescendo as well. And this can be sustained, like so. What I'm also thinking about doing is here, I want to add in that triplet feel. So I might do, this is going to help us with the transition. Now, what note are we going down to? We're just going to go down. There we go. Let's do that crescendo. All right, that looks about like the right arc here. All right. No, that's not cool. I think I want that just building straight up. Here we go. Alright, we're doing pretty good so far. G, some kind of like chord. So I want to add a little bit more interest. Let's have a listen. I'm just going to choose a random place to jump in. Now, did that last for as long as I wanted it to last? I'm not quite sure, so we're going to go back and just have a look at that. I kind of like that it's not perfectly symmetrical here. So this is a little bit longer, that's a little bit shorter. And I guess it helps with that transition. And then we need some more sounds to help with this transition. So there'll be like a synth, something. No, I want that not so high up and more clustery. So I want to bring that 9 down so it's a more key. There's a more together sound. All right, Reith, thanks so much for tuning in. Hope you have a good day, and thank you so much for your support. I hope I see you around. Subscribe. I'm going to be doing this all the time, and I'd like to see you again. Thanks. Yes, that's it. And then crescendo and then go out. That's what we want. See ya. Yeah, that's a better sound. Yeah, and then we can build more clashy harmony there. Bumpy, bumpy. So that's the 4, right? So we can do like a little cluster. Maybe we can branch that out here. Yeah, with that 11. Here we go. Let's go. That's sounding pretty good. I like the addition of the strings. It's making it a little more interesting, a little more of the beautiful nature. Carry on. Let's have a listen properly. Now, this is boring here. Like this is just like an interim something. It needs a way to transition out of that into something more interesting. It's just doo-doo-dee. I suppose we could add that D flat again. That's a cool way of doing it. D flat. We'll build it up in fifths because I like that sound. And then we're gonna go to that B flat. And that's gonna be a cool little. And then I can keep that note sustained. And then this note goes up there. And this note goes up there. So we can do a little bum. This might be what we need. Yes, that's cool. That's cool. But I'm gonna do it like so. Bum, 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 bum. I'm gonna add in one more, which gives me the third of the chord, which is really sweet. And we're just going to build up from there. Here we go. That's cool. I want some kind of percussion jump, so that's a little bit more sharper and more texturized. Oh, I like the fact that things are kind of overlapping in a very accidental but beautiful way. So now we're gonna just up the tempo somewhat. So we need to go somewhere that makes sense. Somewhere that makes sense. Ba, bee, ba, ba. Where do I want to go? What tempo can I go at that would make sense? What's this tempo here? Because I want to slow down now. So if I treat this as one, treat this as one. Bum, bum, bum. Can I do triplets within the triplets? Or is that just going to get stupid and nuts? I'm not quite sure how I'm going to go about doing this. Let me have a thinky about it. But for now, because I'm literally out of ideas for this section, what I can do is I'll make the first part a little more interesting, and then from there I can come back and then see where I want to go with the metric modulation, because the first part, it still needs a little something. Additionally, I'm not sure that the foreground element is here. Like, what is the main thing that I want to be hearing? I'm not sure if I found that yet. Like, it's all kind of backgroundy stuff for me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do that texturized rhythm thing that I've been looking for. Dum dum. So I'm gonna look through the percussion in contact maybe I can try West Africa and just find something that gives me that attack. I don't know what any of these things are. That might be cool. It's like it's quite an interesting sound. It's got a couple flams on it. At least that's what I think it's called. I'm no percussion nerd. 2, 3, 4. Exactly what I'm looking for. We just need more interest texture-wise. Alright, I'm gonna lose it here, so let me go back and figure out what the hell it's supposed to be. I haven't figured out the metric modulation for myself. So that's absolutely not right. It should be something like no. Quarter note triplets. And we're just gonna repeat. I think that's it. But it's gonna be 4 notes, remember. So we need to treat the pulse some way. Right here, what we can do is we can make these beats a bit weaker. Oh no, I haven't done that right. So we can make these beats a tad bit weaker. Here we go. Let's see how it transitions. want a subtle. Alright. That's interesting enough, but we really, I'm still not 100% happy with it. We're going to go through, add as much interest as we possibly can as we go, because there's still a lot of work to do, boys and girls, unfortunately, or fortunately. I suppose it's fortunate. We get to find more enjoyment out of the work we're trying to do now. There we go. Alright, that's cool because that gives me additional pulse, but I'm not entirely satisfied with just that element, so I need something that's like eighth notes, but it's like a shaker, so it doesn't grab as much attention. Oh, thank you, Kushil. Thank you so much. I hope you're having fun and enjoying stuff. Anywho, back to what we were doing. So I need to find some kind of percussion that allows that, I don't know, something. I'm not sure, so I don't know what's in here. I need I just need shakers and stuff. I don't need something so intense. Let me see if I have something I can use. Oh my gosh, I haven't installed damage. Alright, I can use the factory library here and just find some percussion to work through. We can go world, percussion, African shakers. Do I want something like that? Yeah, I think so. We can pan it around, make it a little bit more interesting. It helps not to overthink things. It really does. Now, from the beginning, I'm going to add this element just however I feel like I need it to be felt. Oh, what would be interesting is if I added a bit of delay to that. That would make this rather interesting. But we can do that later. 3, 4. That'll do. Where should we go from here? I'm at a loss of ideas. Loss for ideas or of ideas? Loss of ideas? I don't know. Loss for, maybe it's for or of. One of the two. Someone can correct me. Here we go. I'm not entirely a fan of this pulse starting out here, so I'm going to leave that for later. And I want this to be rather ambient, and I want it to have some kind of delay to it. Just, again, what we're trying to do is we're just trying to add, you know, little interesting elements one at a time. We're going to do... Okay, cool. 4 ideas. Okay, see you later. Thank you. Hope you're back soon. Have a good day. All right, here we go. Let's carry on. I'm missing the very first note, aren't I? No, I don't like that element. I like what the delay is doing to this. I need to make sure that this is in time. Oh, now I'm wondering if I should transition back to my original tempo, but this time the 8th notes just become 16th notes. As I said, still out of ideas for that part, or out for it's fine. Here we go. What can we add now? Because it's not done just yet. Because I need that. Whoosh. I need a little bit more, like just some percussion-y elements, just to add that underlying pulse. Because it's just still missing. It's like this underlying rhythmic phenomenon that keeps going on, that binds everything together. We need something that does that for us. I'm going to look here under more percussion and just find things I can't name. No, it should be like smaller percussion instruments. I like that. I like that. That's gonna add a really cool flavor to this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh my gosh. That was just hard. I have no idea what I was doing. But that's quarter notes, and then here it's just eighth note triplets. Even the cutoff is eighth note triplets. So where is the eighth notes? So it's about halfway. So maybe about there. Is there another sound I could use? Maybe I could do that. Whatever's on that D. I like that one. We're gonna see what happens when we do that. see how that sounds. How old are you? Not very, me neither. This is working out to be a more complicated piece to work out. This is working out to be a more complicated piece to work out. That's some weird English right there. Here we go. Now, what we'll do, we're just gonna build slowly. I want this delay to be even more prominent because I think it's rather cool. Here we go, listen. Alright, if we're gonna do it like that, we need it every time. This is getting really difficult to work out, isn't it? Well, it's probably, it's just getting difficult to work out. Alright, I'm going to keep this quiet. It should be the reverse piano that should be the main element. We can add a little bit of a tremolo to it. Alright, it's pretty good so far. Some brass there because I feel like it needs something. Dun, dun. We're gonna add something there. I'm gonna repeat that as it is. Sorry, I backed away from the microphone, and we're just gonna keep adding elements because at this rate, I'm losing patience. All right, I'm not gonna have any count in just because I need. Ah, god damn. What am I doing? Alright, now I'm gonna bring out the big guns. Legato, strings doing. Go! Alright. Adding some other stuff in. We're gonna add bass. Low legato. Should stop saying legato with that weird inflection. Alright, here we go. Right. Let's go. 2. That up. Come on. Let's try that again. I don't want the strings to do that weird high thing it just did. 3. There we go. Da, da. We'll do that. We'll leave that to the wood. Let's do that again. 1, 2, 3. Oh, damn, what note was that supposed to be? No, that's the right note. Da, da. Okay, I get it. Da-dee-da-dee-dum. Alright, you know what? Not a fan of repeating this. Not a fan of repeating that. Okay, what if... Alright, I need to think about where to go from here. Where do I want to go from here? Do I rely on my intuition or do I not? I need to slow down. What I could do... How can I slow down? Maybe I can think about triplets again. If I'm in triplets and every 2 beats... Okay, alright. We're gonna do this and it's gonna be crazy. But you guys are gonna be like, oh my gosh, you're so crazy, man. Alright, here we go. I'm gonna do something. Alright, that's quantized. That's quantized. Alright, here we go. So we have these triplets here. And now we're gonna try find a different pulse from them. And the way we're gonna do this is before we did every 2nd note. So now we might do every 3rd note, which ends up being this one. Oh. Well, that just ends up being quarter notes, doesn't it? Wait, so if I did this is the pulse, that's the pulse, that's the pulse, then it just ends up being half notes. I mean, I need something else. Maybe, okay, if I think about this as 8th notes instead. So let's just get 8th notes up and running. And then I'll see what kind of pulse I can create with it, 8th notes. Because if I do every 3rd 8th note, I might get something interesting out of it. Because it's not every 3rd 8th note triplets, every 3rd. So I could do this is one, no, we're going to do 16th notes. And we're going to do this. I'm going to delete 2, delete 2, delete 2, delete 2, delete 2. So we're getting some weird trippy rhythm stuff here. Now we're going to metrically modulate once again, and I have no idea where we're really going to end up. But here I notice, where do we get back? Listen to this. Alright. Listen, 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 listen. We need to listen and try to figure out what to do. Alright, we need to create some kind of underlying structure, pulse even. Alright, let's copy that over. No, even weak. We need these even weaker. And then we can make these a tad weaker. Here we go. Alright, there we go. Da-dee. Alright, I'm just gonna play over this until I get a good feel of it. I need some time. Da-dee. Yes, it slowed down just enough. Alright, cool. I like that. I like that. It's worked out, and eventually it's gonna get even faster. Alright, so we're slowly modulating metrically, and I'm just gonna play it in, because otherwise I'm gonna lose it. 1, 2. Alright, listen. Alright, are we ready? 2, 3, 4. That's cool. I liked adding in those flurry notes. 2, 3, 4. Cool. So that ended up being exactly what I wanted to do. At least that's what I'm going to pretend like. Alright, here we go. Now, I'm curious to see how this sounds. I bet you are too. Let's just transition. Alright, I'm going to copy over this just so I can line things up once again. So now it's going to be slightly different. Slightly. And then oh gosh, let's do that. Oh no. All right, so we're slowly but surely making progress. Progress is indeed being made. Maybe about there. All right, and last one. Not last one. We're close. See, as long as we've got the underlying structure down, we can build and create lots of interesting new things from that, but we need to have that structure first. And I've been saying that for like an hour now, and I'm not sure if we're going to get anywhere close to that. But here's the deal. We're making progress, and that's what counts. I wasn't expecting this to take so long. I was just going to, do it rather quickly and move on with my life. Alright, see? That lines up rather well. Metrically speaking. Alright, here we go. I'm just gonna have a quick listen to this. All right. Da, da. Da. Is it here? I think it does it right there. So we're just gonna go to that F again. Gonna sustain U. We need something. Da. Alright, I'm gonna do some legato there. Da. That's cool. Now that transition, I'm missing a few elements, aren't I? Like this pulse. We're gonna repeat it here, but with now the new pulse. Man, if this was a drinking game about how many times you can say pulse, people would be so drunk right now. All right. Now, dum, bum, 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 bum. All right, we're gonna do that. Repeat, repeat, repeat. That's actually pretty close, isn't it? There are 3 in between. Okay, that looks about right. Oh, I'm going a bit bananas here. I think I chose to be a little overly ambitious with this one. All right. So we got something happening here and here. So here I'm going to add in like a decrescendoing line that helps us keep track of the rhythm. Bum, 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 bum. All right, mid short. All right. dreadful. Let's try something else. See, for me, this is a nice bed of sound, and now we need to add something to it. Like some kind of main synth sound, or some kind of main melody that's not just ba-dee-ba-dum. We need some kind of variety, alright? So I'm gonna attempt to find my sound that's gonna make this thing what it's gonna be. And we can try find it in some kind of like, I don't know, something in here. I really like this sound from what I remember. No, I'm not a fan of that anymore. We need big strings. No, we're not doing that one. Let's try something mega low brass. Oh, I'm so sorry about that. Oh, that's bloody loud. Turn that down. That's so loud. It's still so loud, man. Now, I don't want it to feel like we're just copying Oppenheimer here. So I'm going to try find some kind of different sound that allows me to, you know, I just need like a main lead sound. Alright, I don't know where to go to find the presets. Never mind. This is the first time I've opened this up since, I don't know, God knows how long. Alright, here we go. We need some kind of lead, bowed string. Let's try the arpeggiator. Wait, what's happening here? How do I... Alright, anybody can find... Here we go. Adam the Psychic. No, I don't want that. No. That's kind of cool. Alright, let's add stuff in. I'm gonna play and find... It'll be here somewhere if it works anyway. Alright, folks, I'm running out of ideas. This is where I'm stuck. This is where I'm stuck. How long have I been going? Because this feels like I've been going for a bloody long time. I've been going for a very, very long time, and I'm approaching the end of my tether. Tether? I'm not sure. Anyway, let's carry on. I've decided is I need some kind of like arpeggiator that's the same rhythm that goes throughout. Some kind of interesting evolving sound here. We've got that arpeggiator going. That seems like... We're just going to keep that going, alright? And it'll evolve with the piece of music, no matter how it changes. What I'm thinking about doing also is filtering it later. Yeah, that's cool. I'll mess with the envelopes, and I'll mess with the cutoff also. Now it's going to make more sense. I'm thinking like waves of like sound designy sounds like going in and out. Is that it? Alright. Anywho, so I said I was going to mess with the cutoff. I need to quantize the bejesus out of this. And I'm going to mess with the sustain. If I can find where's the part where you mess around with this, man? Oh, envelopes. Oh, how do I even... Oh, here we go. Alright, cool. I'm gonna just latch. Let's go. This is gonna really help tie things together, honestly. Coming in and out. I'm also going to have some nice, as I said, wavy sounds. I'm just trying to add a little bit of texture, some interesting, something to make it a little more interesting. already done. Now, I wanted wavy sounds, right? I'm going to call this stab, stab, stab. All right. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get some cool sounds, some crescendos from Albion again that will help add a bit of movement and some interest and stuff. Smooth. I think this was one of the ones I liked. No, that's not. That's cool, but not what I'm looking for today. Yeah, that could be nice. Just in each of the sections here, D flat. Here we go. Alright, that sounds interesting to me. Save that. Let's go. Now, this is a little too intense. So this is the stuff that's going to crescendo over time, because I'm not interested in it popping up all of a sudden and making things really busy right from the start. So we're just going to add this up slowly, slowly, slowly. Alright, it's getting there. Oh, my laptop's about to die. 1 second. Alright. I'm back. Sorry, folks. Alright, so we've got something really interesting happening here. Now, I'm kind of just interested in ending this piece, I'll be honest. If this wasn't a live stream, I would finish here for the day and then come back to this later. But since this is a live stream, I'm going to wrap it up now, which is probably for the best anyway. So, I'm pretty happy with this now. We're just going to check this finale here. And then, all right. Oh no, 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 don't crash, don't crash, don't crash, don't crash. Don't crash. I hope this doesn't crash. You know what? I actually like this. I like this piece. It's a bit different. I came in here thinking, hey, you know what? I wanna try something different today. Nothing usual, because you know, if you want to just write normal stuff, it's not easy, but it's easier than trying to come up with something completely original. All right, here we are. We're just gonna go back to our original section. All right. just gonna, here we go. We're gonna copy over our original pizzicato strings. Woodwinds here. Flush this out. Oh, actually, we're gonna slowly get slower and slower and slower. That'll be the way that we kind of end things, especially here. So it'll be faster, and then here we can miss maybe these two, and then maybe we can even, and then we can miss like all of them like so. Alright, let's give this a go. Oh. Should slow down a bit earlier. Maybe like so. Dum 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 dum. Something like that's pretty cool. And I'm gonna carry along this violin part. I'm gonna improvise because I think that'll help me find some ideas that I'm looking for. All right. Alright, I'm happy with that sound. I'm going to go through the violin part, figure out if there's anything that I want to change, if there's anything that's standing out to me. Let's carry on. That's cool. Happy with it. I want to sustain that over. I think that'll be really cool. Yeah, yum. Yeah, yum. Dee-dum. Maybe there. Let's try that. I like it. Alright, I like it. Let's carry on. Buddy. Alright, here. Now I want to do some like high piano stuff here. Since, well, let's take advantage of the black notes here. We're just going to do some interesting modal stuff. So it'll just be in whatever mode it's in. Alright, cool. I'm happy with that. Let's keep going a little bit. Maybe here I want to do like I'd like that to take over. All right, here we go. All right. I've decided for that initial transition, I want that to be all the time. And here as well, I want it to transition so that it makes it a little bit more interesting. And actually, it might be helpful because it's quite fast before this point, before this transition point. Let's have a look. Where are we? If we look at the strings here, it's quite fast, relatively speaking. So what I could do is I could do some 16th notes like this, and then transition over to this point here, like so. Now those are 8th notes, and maybe you do that. Maybe do this, and then it slowly slows down, like so. So it'll go. All right, cool. I want like a nice, here I've decided I want a D flat augmented major 7 because it's one of my favorite chords, and this is as good a time as any to use it. But no, I just want it longs, no. Here we go. One, two, three, 4. Alright, it's supposed to be over there. I mean, do I even like the way that the piano does this? That's a good note to end on. What note was it? Do. I like that note. We'll end on that note. Do. All right, easy. Have I added any reverb to this? Whew. All right, boys and girls. I think we're nearing the end of this. We're nearly there. It's taken us a bloody long time, but you know what? We're nearly there, and ultimately that's what counts, is that we got to the end. All right, and from here, I want to start to slow down the arpeggiator. There we go. So it's currently at 16th notes, and it slows down, yeah, that way. Alright, here we go, 16th notes. We can't hear it right now, because it hasn't been triggered. it should be in MIDI. Hasn't triggered. Unfortunately, it does that sometimes. So we just need to go to chase notes. There we go. Let's see how that sounds. Alright, it's starting to sound pretty good. Here I want to just volume automate it. Alright, looking good. Alright, that's pretty good. It's done. Just work on it. What is that note? Something like that, eh? All right, here we go. I believe that we are done. Yay! It took us a while. Now, admittedly, this took us a very long time. Yesterday's live stream was an hour and a half. This is an hour more. It's taken us a good while, but I think we've come up with something that's a little more original. Now, we use some of the ideas from Oppenheimer, the rhythmic modulation, the metric modulation, but we kind of tried to make it our own. It's a different piece of music, but it uses similar techniques. So what I'd like us to do now is have a listen to it, and then I'm going to see if I believe it needs anything else. And then soon I'll post up a stereo version of this bounced out, and in the description below you can go to SoundCloud and have a listen to it. It'll be, I should be done in like, I don't know, 15 minutes. I'll just quickly print everything out and upload it. Easy peasy. Alright, I'm going to automate that. That's weird. Just one bar of that. Hooray! Yeah, I'm done. I'm happy with that. That sounds great. Surprisingly, it's better than what I imagined it would sound like at the end. So, I'm going to bounce this out, and I want you guys to hear this in stereo. So, let me switch over. Yeah, have I allowed you to have a proper listen to it? That you could consider that a proper listen to it. All right, hey guys, thanks so much for sticking around. I know this was quite a long one. It was 2.5 hours, but we managed to write a couple minutes of music, and it sounds pretty good. And we use some ideas from Oppenheimer, some metric modulation, reverse piano, and just try to create something that's a little bit different, a little bit unique. So down in the description below, when this is uploaded, I'll have a link to the SoundCloud where I will upload this so you can listen to it in stereo. And yeah, it's basically just going to be this, but in stereo, so you'll get a nice, I don't know, listening experience. Let me know what you think and subscribe because there's going to be live streams all the time. I'm just going to be writing, and you can watch and you can talk and you can jump in, and I think it'll be a lot of fun. There's a lot of stuff to come. Thank you for everybody who tuned in. I really, really made this experience a little more special. So thanks so much, and I'll see you next time.